Good morning. My name is Michael Drummy. I'll be reading a few poems here today from my forthcoming collection of poetry entitled Perdido that will be published by Main Street Rag Press in the fall of 2025. The first poem is entitled Bitterroot. Bitterroot, an herb, a river, wilderness. Combine all three for an intoxicating tea. This line gets us from there to here, a cool August morning, vestigial crickets, the song of an American robin, of America. Where are we again? Bitterroot. Think it through to the end. Upon awakening, I imagine when I can return to bed again. At day's end, I tell myself, the end of days, my days, filled with nothing other than thoughts of me as your young, now grown-up son, from birth to this day, today, in Bitterroot. Double T, double R, double O. Easy to remember for one who once surveyed the empty sageland of Wyoming with you, marveling at the rose-colored blooms that appeared as though scattered by an unseen hand across the barren earth. Easy for me to recall still, but not for you, whose feet, like mine, cannot be felt, just sensed, like Virga, the rain that does not fall from darkened clouds. These many little deaths of memory you've buried deep within your worn-out soul that flutters lifelessly above the sandy banks of the river known as Bitterroot. The next poem is entitled That Afternoon on Inishmaan. Fragments, sand, glass, a picture window. Eyes closed, we gaze out across the limestone wasteland, waves crashing nearby, sea spray on our faces, rain shells flapping in the breeze, the role of emptiness in our lives now made manifest, sheep grazing on the hillside, wind turbines whirring, clouds low, sunlight filtering through. You remove your sunglasses, your lustrous eyes, and taking my hand in our middle age, say, if this, my dear, were to be our last best dream, if it were to be, if it were. The last poem I'll read is entitled Perdido, which is the title of the collection. Perdido. That July, not long after he'd passed at 39, the family gathered at midday in a cool, quiet glen in the hardwood wilderness of Vermont. His mother plunged her hand into the clear plastic bag of bone fragments and dust, and, pulling her mottled fist from the sack of death, raised it above her head, proclaiming, "This is my son." Wildly she cast him about, handful after handful, the gray ash of him settling on leaves and grass, the earth marked with his sacramental pigment. Her silver hair and arms covered with him, her eyes throbbing through tears. Those assembled tried to console her, but they were, all of them, lost, like he'd been ever since the divorce, like the pain he'd swathed with OxyContin, like the bullet he used to kill himself that was never found at the bottom of that clear plastic bag. Thank you for listening to me, and I'm very excited about this collection of poetry that will be coming out in the fall. It is my first full-length collection of poetry. So I hope you pick up a copy. Thank you for listening.